Alright, it's been a little bit since I recorded. This is on my laptop. My desktop, we had a power outage yesterday and my desktop is still recovering, unfortunately. I do not like that hand. There we go. Much better. So we got the bridge, and then we have the bobble shredder combo to dig to whatever we need. We can probably deal with 2 lands now, and we'll probably draw into a third. So I'm thinking putting back either the pathway or the forest. And yeah, put back the pathway. I don't even remember what I did this game. Hopefully that's not too loud. So opponent is putting both on the bottom. Let's see. And oh yeah, I remember what this is. This is the Reanimator deck. So it's interesting why opponent decides to try to persist this now, which I guess is okay because they're playing Ephemerate, and I guess they're trying to get value out of their Ephemerate to try to dig to something good. Fortunately, I do have a Pithy Needle for the Teferi if I need it. And they decide to get the Faithful Mending. So, interesting enough, that Teferi is still on top. But I do have a trophy for it if I need it. Now what I'm looking to do here though is I want to make sure I have the trophy up in case I need to kill something else. My opponent knows to fetch before the needle, or I'll cut them off of mana. This tells me that the rest of their cards in hand are probably not lands. I'm pretty sure it's still correct to name Teferi there, so that's what I do. Yeah, going for the Faithful Mending during the upkeep. Now that's smart because a lot of people, they might not know to have a stop on their upkeep so that I can mill during before they get their draw phase. So they did draw an Archon with this, it looks like. But they do not have a persist anymore. So, yeah. Ooh, yeah, they did have a Strand because they just drew a Delta. So, yeah, they did have another land in hand. Now, fortunately, this is going to set me up for a Thoughtseize. So I can make sure that the way is clear, and I see that their hand is just a bunch of worthless crap. The only thing I really got to worry about is that Faithful Mending in the graveyard. So yeah, I go for the bridge. And their clock is like non-existent right now. Let's see, they do have one more Solitude in hand. They just drew their card. Yeah. So yeah, the Faithful Mending is the thing I gotta worry about. Yes, it's got flashback, but I decided to mill it anyways because I want them to be able to draw as few cards as possible at instant speed. I'm not worried about force negation. They get an ephemerate, so now I know I need to hold up this assassin's trophy to trophy the archaeologist if they try to ephemerate it. I think the delta is gone now, if I remember correctly. Another faithful mending. I don't want them to have the archaeologist. Um, they do get a Teferi, which is unfortunate. But I have a Thoughtseize coming up. So it's a matter of... they could cast the Teferi here, but I already have a Needle. Yeah. And I think it's Force of Negation. Yeah. And so now that they're tapped out, I want to use the trophy to kill the archaeologist. And then from there, Teferi doesn't really do anything if it resolves. Ephemerate doesn't do anything. So I should be clear with this. And I would like to get Grafdigger's Cage soon. Their only real outs is if they get a bunch of real good cards in a row and the rest of their faithful mendings. Oh yeah, both my opponent and I kept losing connection. So yeah, Teferi does stop my Profane Tutor, but it doesn't matter. So now I'm just keeping my opponent off of instant speed draw spells. I could have waited on that. On the Historians to get a trophy to kill Teferi. It's just random luck that there's another trophy after. I don't want my opponent to have Persist. Archon's fine. And opponent concedes. So we go to game 2. Come on, thingy. I do not remember how I sideboarded. Well, I mean, obviously stone. I probably brought in a Nihil Spellbomb, and I have another Grafdigger's Cage in my sideboard as well. So this seems like a pretty good hand against them. Opponent's trying to mulligan against me. And it's unfortunate. They have to go down to 4. I think they were trying to go for the scam opening, and they were just not getting it. And that's going to be real bad. So I do use the bauble on them because I want to see what they've got coming. Since I know it's a grief, I want to try to use a Thoughtseize here to pull, whatever their combo is. I can either pull a black card or I can whatever. And then after that, I can turn 2, I can play Cage and Stone. Let's see, and these are the cards that I saw. A Marsh Flats and a Persist. So if my opponent wants to try to do the grief, they have to get rid of Persist, and then they'll get a card out of my hand. But I'm still good. So I'm pretty sure the opponent just concedes after they see the Cage and Stone. So yeah, their hand is Persistent Grief. And yeah, they draw their card and they decide it's not worth it. But yeah, relatively easy.